Hey guys, it's a gray day outside, just been studying, and I wanted to pop in here and do a video sorting out some of my crazy, introverted, ruminating thoughts and go over them with you. Because sometimes, my mind will go off on these tangents when I start thinking about, am I the only one that starts thinking about really deep life issues and things when I'm studying? It's I'm supposed to be focusing on this, but my mind's like, what is the meaning of life? And, it just starts going crazy or thinking am I really someone who deals with social anxiety and all that stuff? So I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that today. And just as a note, I've been thinking about labels a little bit recently and how we label ourselves. And I still think that it's good to a certain extent because that way you can kind of define things, you can categorize things to an extent. So that's, let's say if you need help, you feel like you're dealing with depression or something, you can go to a professional, you can say, hey, I think I'm dealing with something along these lines, and so that way your therapist will have an idea of kind of where to go with that and what to do about it. But I think it can also be very trapping, and it can be, a horrible thing if you're like, well, I obviously have depression, so I can't go and do this. I obviously have anxiety, and you trap yourself in just this state where you feel like you can't do anything, and you're trapped by an illness or whatever the case is. And also there's synergistic effects. There's all different things. There's so many combinations. So I wanted to kind of talk about that because I've been reflecting about social anxiety, and I've met some people, or I've heard about people that, they have agoraphobia, they can't leave the house. Speaking to anybody causes them to sweat and to really freak out. And so I was always wondering, because I was like, do I deal with more social anxiety or is it more generalized anxiety because I get scared of new situations and things? Because it's hard sometimes to pinpoint exactly what it is that is really causing you the fear or making you anxious or nervous, what it is that's kind of getting to you. But I knew that there was something because there's some moments where I'm like, how is everyone else coping in the situation? And I feel like I'm drowning right now, So it's something I've been reflecting on a lot. And I really do want to read more about the really sensitive personality types, the highly sensitive person, because I feel like that is honestly what I identify with the most. I personally see there's this this effect that happens with me where sometimes I get very introverted, right? And I'm like, I just don't want to socialize. I really hate social events. I always have. I dread them as much as I want to be like, oh, just go and have fun. I'll do it. And sometimes I'll have a great time. But let's say it's Monday and on Friday I'm going out to a party. The whole week I'm going to be like, is there a way to get out of it? Is there anything I can do? And I know that might sound sad, but that's just how I am. I'd rather stay in and watch a movie or play video games than go and socialize with a bunch of people. I do find social norms to be very confusing. And it's interesting because somebody on here had said that they see me as more of an INTP personality type, which is more of a thinker than a feeler, but I try and mask it, or I've learned how to feel over the years. And that was interesting because I feel like sometimes I do get very analytical about things, and I really do get in that kind of mindset where I just kind of say, what's the point with this? And what does that really do? But of course I have a lot of emotions and I feel a lot too. So that's why I don't take, the Myers-Briggs and all those personality tests, to have 100% accuracy, but they're still interesting because they can be quite accurate in some ways and very fascinating. So, but I definitely identify with being an introvert and needing to recharge. There's no question about that. Sometimes I will like talking to people, but it's not like I thrive off of social interactions, not in the slightest. Even after doing a social hangout online with you guys, it's I need time to just relax. So I've been thinking more about social anxiety and highly sensitive person and that kind of thing, and seeing what the difference is between it. Because, for instance, I'll give you an example that happened just yesterday. I was going to go see a play that my brother was in, and my dad accidentally stepped on my boot as I was walking in to go and meet up with a bunch of family and friends and people like that I knew that were attending. And, it's obviously not my dad's fault, and not blaming him for anything, but my boot, the heel broke, and so it was really awkward for me. And in that moment, it's I was already experiencing anxiety from going into the crowd and seeing all these people, and then that happened, and I think it was just this, it just felt like this synergistic effect of just like too many stimuli, too many things going on, seeing people, interacting with them when I'm not a very social person in general, something going wrong, everyone's asking, oh, what happened, that attention being put on me, that spotlight. I'm honestly one of those people that really does not like attention put on me, like in front of a crowd and in front of a lot of people like that. I have to say I do enjoy when people watch my videos and things because it's a very different way of communicating. It's a way to relate to each other without me standing here and seeing all you guys. And like, you know, if it was that format, that would be very different. But, you know, so I felt just like this rush of just too much going on. I get very easily overwhelmed by just like, you know, the atmosphere and everyone's talking and there's different conversations, and it's always stressed me out when, let's say I'm trying to have a conversation with someone and then two people are talking across me, and it's just like, and then I can't help but tune into their conversation and sometimes forget what I'm saying, and it's like, I've really been questioning how much of my anxiety is derived from actual social and human interactions, or how much of it is environmental and everything else around, you know? So I think it's a combination of both, because I can't say that I'm always like comfortable with talking to people, because obviously if you have social anxiety, you care what other people think, and I certainly do. So sometimes if I'm, you know, going to interact with someone, I'm thinking like, please let them not ask me about this, or please let's not get into these topics, or please let's not go there. And I get all this, you know, pre-anxiety from the interaction because I'm worried where this is going to go. But at the same time, I don't dislike people. I enjoy interacting with people, but I just feel like a lot of the social norms we have are so, you know, the whole, how are you? Fine. How are you? Oh yeah, at this job. Oh cool, that's great. What are you doing with your life? Oh, I'm doing this. You know, how's everyone? Great. Just like, shoot me now. So, I'm sorry. I know that's kind of weird. I'm usually a very optimistic and upbeat person, but sometimes, like, I just look at these things, I'm like, yeah, I could go and tell everyone what I'm doing with my life and all this and that things are cool, or I could stay home and play my video game. Which one sounds better to me? I think I'll take the second one. So just how I am, I can't help that, and I think I'm just honestly through YouTube learning more and more and more about myself and about other people and how other people operate, and it's so interesting because I just want to keep learning more about myself and what I need to do to be happy and to feel like a complete person and to feel like I'm more in control of this and I can understand what I'm going through. And I really feel like recently I've been having a lot of aha moments about things, about how I study for school, about what I'm dealing with when it comes to mental health, how to cope better. It's just like, it's been revolutionary, and I just wanted to take a moment also and thank you guys, the viewers, everyone that's new on my channel, everyone that's been supporting me for months, if not a year on here. I mean, that's amazing, and a lot of you guys have really helped open my eyes to like different facets of my personality, things that I should be working on, things that I should like about myself, things that, you know, that I can just keep learning about and reading up on. So I wanted to, you know, this video turned into a little bit of a gratitude session, I guess, to say thank you guys for, you know, bouncing ideas off me and chatting with me and letting me know about your lives and everything. So if you guys wanted to share anything down below about how you're doing mental health wise, or anything you've realized about yourself that you know to be true, that would be really cool. And thank you for watching, my precious gems. I am going to keep drinking my happy kombucha tea in my new favorite mug from David's Tea. Cheers, that stuff is amazing. And I will keep studying my plant biology. Alright, see you precious gems later. Bye everyone.